we were talking about how he wanted his mom to be happy and have a relationship and wanted to write about that. Pete, what is the Staten Island accent? Like, what is the key to it?
It's I might not know what I'm talking about, but what I say matters.
Siblings fight about kind of the same thing over and over and over again.
On a personal level, to understand someone that's that patient and that kind and thoughtful, I was like, it's really good to be around.
I've been off the job for so long, so I was just more concerned that I looked like I knew what I was doing.
We did one take and you like, make sure you do the sex noises still in a Staten Island accent.
To be completely honest, doing this roundtable is the most nerve-wracking thing I think I've ever had to do.
This is the cast of The King of Staten Island for Entertainment Weekly with Around the Table. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
This is super weird because we've never actually hung out together in a group like this ever.
I know.
Also, John and Maud, are you just like in the same house but in different rooms?
Yes.
I'm in a room where I'm hoarding. That's what I have around me. Pete, so the movie comes out, well, very soon from when this comes out.
Right.
How are you feeling right before release?
It's an odd time to do it, but I'm proud of it, and I think it's nice to put something positive into the world. And also it'll be another thing that you can watch. I don't know about you guys, but I ran out of stuff, so I'm pretty thrilled.
Steve, how are things going? How are you feeling with the movie coming out?
I can't wait. I mean, I've seen it. I saw the preview when we were in LA. I'm sorry people won't be seeing it with an audience, but because I thought it plays really well with an audience. But look, I'm so proud of this movie. I'm just so honored to be a part of it, and I think everybody's great in it.
I like your tattoos. What are those numbers on your arm?
Oh, that's the date my dad died. He was a fireman. Died in a fire 17 years ago.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Don't be, it's fine.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not your dad.
Hi, Belle.
Hey.
But you were friends with Pete before the movie.
Yeah, I was. And when I heard Pete was making a movie with you, it wasn't about Pete. I was like, hey, can I be in that movie? And he was like, well, you can come and audition to play the part for my girlfriend. And I did. And it was actually like one of the scariest auditions because it was like all improvised and I was very terrified. And like me and Pete were like, oh, like we're friends, but this is like weird because we're auditioning. Like, I don't know. But it went well, apparently. And I'm very proud of Pete for making this movie that's semi-autobiographical, and I think it's very beautiful, and I think you're all incredible, and I love you all.
Oh, well, thank you.
You make everyone around you feel crazy. People are normal, then they hang out with you, and then they're Jack Nicholson in The Shining or something.
I gotta tell my mom you tried to drown me. It's an above ground pool. You're like 8 feet tall.
Marisa, I hear you're the only person in the movie who had made a movie on Staten Island before.
Really? What was that?
The Purge.
Oh, but we didn't shoot it in Staten Island. That was
You didn't?
No.
So this is the first time you made a movie about the borough of Staten Island. Have you covered the other boroughs in your career, characters from the other boroughs?
I have not covered the Bronx. No, I have not covered the Bronx. That's right. I mean, that's good. I'm three out of 4. Yeah.
What was the key to the Staten Island accent? Because that was a big debate with everyone. How hard to go with the accent?
Yeah.
What was your approach?
The key was giving you a range and letting you pick.
Yes, exactly.
You can't focus on Scott anymore, honey. He's 24 years old, Marjorie. Let that f***ing bird fly, please.
Don't worry, Mom. I know your daughter got smart and went to college and abandoned us. But I'm still here. I'm gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
Maud, you were working on your Staten Island accent, and we weren't sure how hard to go. And we were talking about you were someone who was trying to get rid of it. And so there was a little left. Was that hard to do for you as a California girl?
Or Belle and I were just talking about how we worked with the same accent coach, and we watched Made in Staten Island, the show, and it was super helpful in watching like the thickest kind of accent, then trying to scale it back, I guess. But
I thought Pete's mum was like the most useful because she has a thick accent.
Pete, what is the Staten Island accent? Like, what is the key to it?
It's a little you like this. It's very it's very I might not know what I'm talking about, but what I say matters.
I stand by it.
I stand by my observation.
Yeah.
Now, Marisa, you're the person in the movie who had to have romance with Bill Burr. We know there's a challenge to have romance with Bill Burr. Pete and I have not had romance with Bill Burr. Steve hasn't. And how was it for you? You guys were so great together and have such unique chemistry. How did you like acting with Bill?
I mean, he's a philosopher, really. I don't even know that he's an actor or a comedian. He's a philosopher. So just listening to him, theorize / pontificate, I was into it. I'm into it. I like to see the world through his eyes. So that's how we got in the zone.
Was it helpful to get to talk to Pete's mom?
I mean, it was helpful on a personal level because I was more than an acting level. I wasn't trying to emulate her, and not, I just went off of the script. And it's easy to feel in a family and to love Pete. That's just all came really easily. But on a personal level, to understand someone that's that patient and that kind and thoughtful, I was like, it's really good to be around a person like that.
Look at this. Do you believe this? You see that there? See that line? I don't know if you burn these off or what, but we're taking care of this and you're paying for it. You understand me? I don't know what this is.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's an aesthetic laser at the hospital where I work, and it can completely remove it. I get a discount. I'm going to pay for the whole thing. I don't know what I'm saying. I feel terrible.
You should feel terrible. Look at that.
What's that? Oh.
Do you remember that, Pete, when we went to the Soho House and had dinner with your mom and Marisa?
Of course, it was really cool, and it was a real big thrill for my mom because my mom's such a big fan. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. It was really nice. It was a nice memory that we will share forever.
Yes, exactly. And Maud, how was it for you to be a sibling with Pete? In real life, you're a sibling with Iris. What did you bring from home to your fights with Pete?
When Pete and I were rehearsing, our acting coach said like siblings fight about kind of the same thing over and over and over again. Like there's like 5 main things that you're fighting about. And like, even when you're talking about something stupid, like, oh, like, why didn't you close the door? You're actually talking about a bigger issue. And so I guess I feel like I have that with Iris too, once I was aware of it. But
Pete, when you look at that scene with Maud, does it feel at all like your fights with Casey?
Yes, absolutely. Only there was more talking.
As opposed to screaming?
As opposed to me just
Grunting.
Getting screamed out and then just running away from, any confrontation.
okay, like, but what are you gonna do? Are you gonna get a job or are you gonna leave the house?
I don't know. I'm gonna open that tattoo restaurant.
No, like for real.
I am being real. It's never been done before. I looked it up. I Googled it. It's never been done, not even as a joke.
Because no one wants to go to a restaurant and watch people get tattooed while they eat. It's gross.
It's the best idea ever. Ruby Tattoosdays, where everyone's welcome. Chicken and tattoos.
Steve, how is it being in the firehouse for an extended period like that? Again, I assume that's the longest amount of time you spent, being there for a few weeks. What years were you a firefighter?
From 1980 to 84, I worked at, most of my time was at Engine 55 in Little Italy. And that's one of the things I appreciated what you guys did was you paid as much attention to what the life was like in the firehouse as to going to a job, like going to a fire. You really wanted to show what it was like in the firehouse. And I think that's one of the hardest things to portray. I think you guys did it. And I think firefighters are really funny and they could be brutal with each other. And I think that's captured really well in the film. I'm so out of practice, like not being around a firehouse. And then to have like comedians play firefighters and you would have us improvise. And I wouldn't know what to say. I'd just be like, I can't keep up. And then you'd have to like throw me a line, or Pete would pull me aside and say, well, how about if you say this? Thank you. But
you have the same move as Marisa, which is you both claim not to be good at improv, but then are awesome at improv.
Were you on the job when Stan was killed?
Yeah, you know I was.
What's the first thing you thought of when you heard?
I wonder if he had kids.
Why do I have to clean this thing anyway? It's just gonna get fire on it.
Marisa, did you feel like that was really like a very new thing to you? Because you've worked with the Duplass brothers, and obviously that's an amazing movie, Cyrus, but did this feel very different, the style of shooting we were doing?
Yeah, I loved this. I've told you, spoiled me for life. I loved, at first it was very terrifying and I couldn't really get my head around it. And then like once the amount of freedom that's there and the amount of just, being able to come, not worrying about it overnight so much. You're doing the worrying. Thank you, Judge. You do the worrying. And then we show up and you have, you have your eyes on the prize, and you also have all those great like alts, and the set is so open. And it was, I really, the freedom is the big takeaway. And I really loved that so much, but I still would be terrified if we started again tomorrow.
Pete, how is it for you acting with Marisa?
Oh, it's nerve-wracking because she's such a pro, and you want to be able to bring your A game, and I just learned so much from her, and it was really a great time. I thought we had a really great time.
And Maud,
you didn't just think it, we did.
And Maud, there was a whole sequence at college, and then you had to have a night of partying with Pete. Is that what actually happened at college?
I don't think, maybe a little bit, but it wasn't as fun for me, I guess.
How did it feel having me direct you again? Because we hadn't worked together since 2011. When I think you would be 14.
I think I was younger. Was it? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
How old are you?
I think I was 13, which is so weird. Like, it's been almost 10 years. So it was obviously very different. Before, like, I kind of didn't understand what was going on. And now, like, coming back, having acted in, like, with other people and worked with other people, it was totally different. Like, I don't even think I remembered working with you before that. Kind of sad. But
I feel like the other times we worked together, it was more like the Truman Show, where you didn't even realize there were cameras rolling, and I would just hope you would start fighting with Iris or cursing out Paul Rudd.
I think that's pretty true. So yeah, but I like it was so much fun, and it is really nice being able to like have enough time to like start doing the scene one way and have it morph into something else, and like you letting us sort of like go off and change what we need to feel like it's going well. And yeah, I don't know.
Pete, are you nervous about revealing yourself and having this out in the world? Like what does it feel like right before a lot of people see it? I mean, I'm pretty sure all sorts of people are going to see it. I like to think of who might see it in my head. I think, well, like, who would it be weird that sees it? Like, A-Rod, just somebody. Like, I wonder if A-Rod will see it.
To be completely honest, doing this roundtable is the most nerve-wracking thing I think I've ever had to do. Yeah, so the movie's going to be a piece of cake. A-Rod's going to love it.
You got to get your together. Time is passing by very quickly.
Why do you think I smoke weed all the time? So I can slow it down.
Steve, would you like to be the moderator for a while? Pete's insulting me in terms of my moderation, and I feel like that, Steve, you have questions that you've wanted to ask of us for a while.
I'm curious how you guys like how this came about.
Well, first I gave Pete an idea for a movie that it took us 2 years to realize I gave him the wrong idea. And that was the first movie that Pete and Dave wrote. And it was a sillier movie. And then one day we were talking about how he wanted his mom to be happy and have a relationship and wanted to write about that. And I think I said, what would happen if she dated a firefighter? That seemed like that would be a challenge to you personally. And I don't know if I thought at the time that you would think, let's move in that direction. And I was surprised that you were very interested in exploring that in a deep way.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Like, be nice to mom, okay? Don't give her a hard time. She deserves a break.
I always give her a break. When am I gonna get my break? Like,
What are you talking about? All anyone ever does is worry about you. I was ignored my entire childhood because of you.
oh yeah, I forgot that my childhood was so dandy.
Okay, you don't get to act crazy your whole life just because dad died, okay? At least you got to know him.
Well, you're lucky you didn't get to know him, okay? Because that's why you're almost normal. If you got to know him, you would have known that he was like the coolest guy ever. And that would have ruined the rest of your life.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was so sad. It was like, in Corona time when everyone's been using that app House Party and then someone locks you out.
Yes.
I've been locked out of the room. But then I realized it was my Wi-Fi.
Well, Belle, we've been playing this game where different people get to moderate, and now you're the moderator and you get to ask other people questions. Do you have a question for Marisa?
Oh, your hair looks so amazing. And I just want to know, how you did it.
This is my regular hair.
It
pretty
looks
much.
so cool.
It does look so good.
Well, Marisa didn't want to use her real hair. I'll tell you a secret. It's not her real hair in the movie, and you designed that hair.
Yeah, kind of a mullet-ish kind of thing, a little bit of a klute, a little bit of it with Carrie, our great hair designer. And thank you for that, because not every director, gives the support to the actors that for what they feel like they need to bring their best. And I really, really appreciate that. And the hair is well, look, we're talking about it. The hair's a thing.
So how you doing?
I'm very tired.
Really? Well, you don't look tired. No, seriously, you look great.
Really?
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, are you flirting with me? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. This is what it
It's
looks
really
like.
subtle. I can't tell what's going on.
This is how it looks. I'm very subtle.
All right. I'm Rusty. You're subtle.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
People have been asking me, how long have you guys been working on the script? I've been asked and I don't know the answer.
Hey, do you know when we started writing the script?
I think about 3 years ago, we started having meetings about it. And originally it was like me and Dave wrote like 90 pages of like fart jokes. And you were like, this is good. And then and we gave it to Judd, and Judd spinned it into this amazing 127 pages of emotion and feeling and made it into a real movie.
I kept 8 of those fart jokes.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
I kept 8 of them. Now, Pete, talk a minute about someone we never talk enough about. His name is Dave Cyrus. He is our co-writer.
Yes.
Tell us about Dave, how you met him, his role.
So I met Dave when I was 18 and in LA, and I was shooting this movie called School Dance, which is a Nick Cannon film. And I played this guy named Stinkfinger, who was a high school student who liked to smell his fingers. So I've
come a long way, Pete.
Yeah,
come a long way.
A long way. And then we just started clicking and writing together. And Dave is one of the smartest people I know. He has a sword collection, so that should just tell you how brilliant he is. He also is one of the top roast battle guys in New York City. He was crowned the champion. Roast battle is when you pretty much have 2 guys on stage and they insult each other It's like 8 Mile. And Dave would win all the time. And, you know, he really understands me better than anybody. So I couldn't have asked for a better writing partner to write this, you know, script with. I think we all really clicked together.
And I would say to Dave sometimes, like in meetings, you know, tell me more about Pete, that Pete wouldn't tell me himself. And I remember saying to Dave, if a woman was screaming at Pete in anger, a girlfriend, what would she say? And he wrote for 10 solid minutes what all of the angry insults would be, and then we gave those to Belle to scream at you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Now I had to direct a lovemaking scene with Belle and Pete, and that's something no one wants. Nobody wants that on their resume. No one wants that collaboration. I had to do a little of that with Marisa and Bill, and it's uncomfortable because I don't look at the monitor. I turn away and just say, "Are you done?" And makes it much easier. It's a one take situation. But
yeah, I think we did like two. The funniest thing though was a charge when we did one take, and then I came up to you and you said, I got one note for you, and you're like, can you do the sex? Make sure you do the sex noises still in a Staten Island accent. I think the English accent was coming through, but just
well, you just kept saying like, oh dear, oh dear.
Did you come?
Yes. Were you there? Yeah, I did.
Cool.
Like 6 times.
Awesome.
It was great. Did you?
No, but it's okay. I had fun. I had fun back there.
I feel bad that you never do.
No, I do all the time. I just, I don't put on a Broadway show like you do. I'm more quiet. I'm more like Charlie Chaplin when I come.
Like silent movie.
Silent movie.
Do you think it's the antidepressants?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I didn't have the antidepressants, I'd come in like 8 seconds. And then you wouldn't come. And then you'd be depressed. And then you would have to take antidepressants.
Steve, how did you feel when you saw the movie? How we handled the firefighting scene itself?
Oh, yeah, I thought that was good. Of course, I was watching myself to see if I really looked like I knew what I was doing. Because I've been off the job for so long, and I never got to learn, like how to hook up the hose to the, like the chauffeur is the one that provides the water. So I was just more concerned that I looked like I knew what I was doing. But yeah, I thought that scene come off really well.
That was our fear, that something in the movie would enrage firefighters, and they would just say, that does not seem
it might. You might still get comments like, I wouldn't have. Why? That was bullshit. But they're the only ones who are going to know that. So
yes. How did you like hanging out with the real firefighters like Giselle and Raphael and Mario?
It was great. I loved them, and I loved that you mentioned John Sorrentino, who actually knew Pete's dad, and that was really cool. In fact, the scene that I do where I'm telling all these stories about Scott's dad in the movie were really John's stories that he either was there or he knew about Pete's dad. I felt so grateful that I was the one to be getting these lines. That scene is so funny to me because it starts off with these guys telling these stories that are so inappropriate. And then he just sort of like slips up and just mentions Pete's dad's character. This is so confusing. Scott's. And then of course, Scott really wants to know more because nobody ever talks about that. And then the scene, and then the part where I'm saying about his dad being a hero, it's a callback to the scene in the ballpark where, Pete's character is just going off on, firefighters shouldn't have kids, and it's understandable.
The old ball buster here, he's the senior man of the house.
You call me a senior? You're the one who's bald.
Come on, Pop, I'm just
Hey, you want a hot dog?
Oh, no, I can't. I have Crohn's.
What's that?
It's like when the lining of your stomach is all messed up, so it makes you shit all the time.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Marisa, you had, very emotional scenes with Pete, the most emotional scenes in the movie. And, Pete, was very vulnerable with you in those moments. How is it for you as an actress to act with somebody where it's not just a character, it's also drawn so much from his real life?
Well, I tried to avoid that really and just kind of let him be in his space. And, it was an unsaid kind of thing other than that we kept saying it's his real life. I think it would just let it be really. That
you have to have him be a character to do it. To do it, he has to be a character in your mind to play those moments with him.
Yeah, but also I'm also thinking, oh, I wonder if this is really where are we right now?
Because there is a meta aspect to it. Are those days in a weird way easier or harder, Pete, when you just have to fully go there?
They're a lot easier because the chances were 5 seconds earlier I was having the same conversation, so it was pretty easy. It's easy to stem from your life.
I just feel like everybody's always disappointed in me, and I never live up to anybody's expectations. Hey, thanks for listening to all this. You're one of the few people who treat me, like a person.
You're welcome.
I know that I'm excited for the movie to come out. We had the opportunity to wait for it to be in theaters, but we also thought that we wanted, the world to enjoy it and get a break and get a laugh. And maybe this subject matter, which relates to a lot of the things that are happening in the world, might make people feel better. How are you feeling, Pete?
I think it's awesome. I mean, I think it's an odd time to, for anything, but I'm really proud of it. And I think it's nice to put something positive into the world.
Well, thank you, everybody, for being here for the Entertainment Weekly Roundtable. Maud, what should we have for lunch? Stay there for 1 second. Stay there for 1 second, Maud. Stay there for 1 second.
Oh, no.
He doesn't know which room in the house it is.
Where are you?
No, he's here.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Judd.
Good to see you
guys.
all. So good to see you.